The fastest way to tell if you're introverted or avoidant is what your body does when plans get canceled. When you see a text canceling plans you made for tonight, what is your immediate physical reaction? Do you feel a wave of disappointment? Or do you feel a massive, secret wave of relief? Maybe your shoulders drop. Maybe your chest softens. Maybe you exhale without realizing you were holding your breath. That feeling is what I call the relief reflex. But this is where psychology gets complicated. There is a very fine line between protecting your peace as a homebody and hiding from the world because of social anxiety. One is a biological need. The other is a psychological trap. Today, we're going to diagnose your downtime. We'll look at the neuroscience of the homebody brain, the role dopamine plays in how you experience stimulation, and the 3 signs that your love for staying home might actually be high-functioning avoidance. By the end of this, you won't just know why you stay in. You'll know whether it's healing you or quietly shrinking your world. Let's start by killing a myth. Being a homebody is not about laziness. It's about sensitivity. In the 1960s, psychologist Hans Eysenck proposed something interesting. He suggested that extroverts tend to have a lower baseline level of cortical arousal, meaning they feel understimulated more easily. To feel normal, to feel alive, they seek stimulation. Loud music, new conversations, movement, novelty, risk. They chase dopamine spikes because their nervous systems need that extra input. But the introvert brain works differently. If you're a homebody, there's a strong chance you already have a higher baseline level of arousal. You're naturally stimulated. Which means when you walk into a loud party, with flashing lights, overlapping conversations, unpredictable social energy, you're not getting a buzz. You're getting overloaded. Your brain isn't saying, "This is exciting." It's saying, "Too much data, shut it down." This is why your home feels like a sanctuary. It's not just comfort, it's regulation. At home, you control the lighting, the sound, the pace, the unpredictability, and your nervous system can finally exhale. There's another piece to this. In psychology, we talk about something called the default mode network. This is the network in your brain that activates when you're not focused on an external task. When you're reflecting, imagining, replaying conversations, planning, daydreaming. For many introverts, this network is highly active. You don't need constant external entertainment because your internal world is already rich. Your inner monologue isn't empty. It's layered, complex, creative. Staying home isn't the absence of activity. It's a shift from external stimulation to internal processing. And this is where homebody psychology gets misunderstood. Because healthy solitude and social anxiety can look the same on the outside. Both people cancel plans. Both people stay in. Both people spend weekends alone. But internally, the experience is very different. So how do you tell the difference? Let's break it down. Difference number 1, restoration versus safety. When you close your front door, what do you feel? If you're a healthy homebody, the dominant feeling is restoration. It feels like plugging your battery into a charger. You're not hiding, you're refueling. You might even experience JOMO, the joy of missing out. You know something is happening somewhere else, and you genuinely don't mind. But if social anxiety is driving the behavior, the feeling isn't peace, it's safety. You're not charging, you're building a bunker. You're staying home not because you love being home, but because the outside world feels unpredictable. Maybe your shoulders are still tight. Maybe your mind keeps rehearsing what could have gone wrong. Maybe you feel temporary relief, followed by lingering unease. That's fear reduction, not restoration. Difference number 2, the after effect. How do you feel after a full weekend inside? A true homebody often feels clearer, reset, ready for Monday. Because rest creates energy, but avoidance drains it. If the weekend was spent doom scrolling, numbing, avoiding messages, you may notice something different. Guilt, low-grade anxiety, a sense that time slipped away. Avoidance consumes cognitive resources. Rest replenishes them. Pay attention to the Monday morning version of you. That version tells the truth. Difference number 3, and this one matters the most. Your reaction to the ask. Imagine a close friend calls. They need help. Something real, something inconvenient. How do you respond? A homebody might groan. They might hesitate. They might wish it didn't require leaving the house. But they go, because their values override their comfort. An anxious, avoidant response feels different. There's panic, racing thoughts, a strong urge to ignore the call. When fear dictates your schedule, that's no longer personality. That's a cage. And here's where we need to be careful, because there is something called the comfort zone trap. Your brain loves safety. It loves predictability. But it also adapts quickly. There's a neurological process known as neural pruning. The pathways you don't use weaken. The challenges you avoid feel bigger next time. If you stay home too often out of fear, your tolerance for friction shrinks. The grocery store feels overwhelming. A phone call feels heavy. Small talk feels impossible. The circle of what you can handle gets smaller and smaller and smaller, until one day, your world is the size of your living room. That doesn't happen overnight. It happens quietly, gradually. And if you're realizing you might be leaning toward avoidance, there's something gentle you can try. It's called behavioral activation. This doesn't mean forcing yourself into a nightclub. It doesn't mean becoming someone you're not. It means taking small, deliberate steps that expand your tolerance. Try something like parallel presence. Go to a coffee shop, put on headphones, read. You're home in your mind, but your body is in the world. You're teaching your nervous system that being outside doesn't equal danger. You're stretching without snapping. Now, if you listened to all of this and realized you're simply a true homebody, I want you to embrace that. History is filled with people who created extraordinary things in solitude. Isaac Newton developed groundbreaking theories while isolated during the plague. Emily Dickinson wrote poetry in near seclusion that still moves people today. Steve Wozniak built foundational technology not in loud boardrooms, but in quiet spaces. Solitude is not weakness. It is depth. Your ability to be alone without feeling lonely is a strength in a world addicted to noise. It means you can think independently, create independently, reflect deeply. In a culture built around "look at me," there is quiet power in saying, "I'm good right here." So here's the real question. When plans get canceled, do you feel restoration or do you feel safety? Are you protecting your peace or protecting your fear? Be honest with yourself. And if you're comfortable sharing, tell me in the comments. What is your favorite homebody ritual? The thing that genuinely recharges you? Because healthy solitude is one of the most underrated skills in modern life. And understanding the difference between healing and hiding might quietly change your future.